In a quiet suburban neighborhood, where the streets were lined with blooming trees and the air was filled with the sound of chirping birds, a young couple had recently begun a new chapter of their lives. The house they moved into was the epitome of their dreams, a cozy two-story home with a white picket fence, an expansive backyard, and large windows that flooded the rooms with sunlight. It was the kind of place where they believed they could build a future together. Ethan was the husband, a kind-hearted man with an unwavering trust in his wife, Anna. He was captivated by her gentle smile and the warmth in her eyes, which made him feel like the luckiest man alive. Anna, on the other hand, was a picture of grace and kindness, always finding ways to make their house feel like a home. She had a way of turning ordinary moments into something special, whether it was a simple dinner at the table or a quiet evening watching the sunset from their porch. Their life seemed perfect. Ethan often thought about how fortunate they were to have found each other and to have started this new life in such a beautiful place. He was certain that their future together would be just as bright as the sunny days they were now enjoying. One day, while at work, Ethan received a call from his old friend Mark. They hadn't spoken in a while, so Ethan was surprised to hear from him out of the blue. After some lighthearted catching up, Mark's tone shifted, becoming more serious. Ethan, I need to tell you something, Mark began, hesitation evident in his voice. I saw Anna yesterday. She was with another man. Ethan felt a pang of confusion and disbelief. He laughed nervously, brushing off the statement. Come on, Mark, that can't be true. Anna and I, we're happy. But Mark's voice remained firm. I'm not saying this to hurt you, Ethan. I just thought you should know. They looked close. Ethan ended the call with a forced smile. But as the day wore on, a seed of doubt began to grow in his mind. He couldn't shake the unease that had settled in his chest. He tried to push the thought away, convincing himself that there was a simple explanation. Maybe it was just a misunderstanding. However, over the next few days, Ethan noticed small things that fed his growing suspicion. Anna seemed distracted at times, her mind elsewhere during their conversations. She started taking her phone with her everywhere, even when she would normally leave it lying around. And then there were the late night errands that she suddenly needed to run, which had never been a part of their routine before. One evening, while Anna was out, Ethan decided to take a look at her phone, something he had never felt the need to do before. His hands trembled as he scrolled through her messages and emails, hoping to find nothing. But what he found shattered his world. There were messages from an unknown number, intimate and affectionate, plans made to meet up when Ethan was at work. The truth was undeniable. The life they had built together, the future he had envisioned, was built on a lie. Ethan felt a surge of anger, mixed with heartbreak and confusion. How could this have happened? Why hadn't he seen the signs earlier? His mind raced with questions, but none of them had answers. Over the next few days, Ethan found himself torn between confronting Anna and pretending nothing was wrong. He began investigating further, following Anna when she left the house, trying to piece together the full extent of her betrayal. The more he uncovered, the deeper the wound in his heart grew. Finally, the moment of truth came. One night, when Anna returned from one of her late night outings, Ethan was waiting for her in the living room. His expression was calm, but his eyes held a storm of emotions. Anna, he began, his voice steady despite the turmoil inside. We need to talk. She looked at him, sensing that something was off, but unaware of just how much he knew. What is it? She asked, trying to sound casual. Ethan took a deep breath. I know about the other man. I know everything. The color drained from Anna's face. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. The silence that followed was deafening, filled with all the unspoken truths that had been hiding in the shadows. Ethan waited for her to say something, to explain, to apologize, but she just stood there, frozen in place. When she finally spoke, her voice was barely above a whisper. I'm sorry, Ethan. I never wanted to hurt you. His heart ached at her words, but the damage was already done. Why, Anna? Why did you do this? She looked down, unable to meet his gaze. I don't know, she admitted. I was lonely, confused. I made a mistake. But I never stopped loving you, Ethan. The pain in her voice was real, but so was the betrayal. Ethan felt torn between the love he still had for her and the anger that threatened to consume him. He knew that whatever he decided to do next would change their lives forever. How can I trust you again? He asked, the hurt evident in his voice. Anna finally looked up at him, tears in her eyes. I don't know if you can, she said, but I want to try. I want to fix this to make things right. Ethan sat in silence, the weight of the decision before him pressing down like a heavy burden. He could walk away, leave this life behind and start anew, or he could try to salvage what they had, to rebuild the trust that had been shattered. After what felt like an eternity, Ethan spoke. This isn't something we can just move past, Anna. It's going to take time, and I don't even know if I can forgive you. But I think we owe it to ourselves to try, to see if there's anything left worth saving. Anna nodded, tears streaming down her face. Thank you, Ethan. I promise I'll do whatever it takes to make this right. And so their quiet suburban life, once a picture of perfection, was now marred by the harsh reality of betrayal. But in the midst of the pain and uncertainty, there was a glimmer of hope, a chance that maybe they could find their way back to each other. It wouldn't be easy and it would take time, but for now, that was enough.